What's up, everyone? Philip and Tom here from IGN.
Hello.
And today we're going to be playing Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch. This is crazy. We are very, very excited. I know Tom's excited.
I'm pumped.
Massive fan over here.
Dude, I love Hollow Knight so much.
Yeah, it's great. So if you don't know, if you're not aware, Hollow Knight is a 2D style Metroidvania game with some Dark Souls or Souls-like elements to it, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I am very particular about trying to avoid that comparison, but it's a fair one. The combat is nothing like Dark Souls. It's not like Dark Souls because it's oh, this is a gritty, hard game that you're going to die a lot. That's not the Dark Souls comparison. The Dark Souls comparison more comes from the fact that, you're in this really dark... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're in this really, dark, mysterious world. There's, a lot of people there. It's kind of a world with a lot of history already. The story is told mostly silently. You talk to a lot of characters that kind of fill you in on non-specifics, but you're learning it for yourself as you go.
Cool.
And then it's got the Dark Souls-esque mechanic of
when you die.
When you die,
Yeah.
you drop your money. You have to go back to your corpse, fight a thing, and then you'll when you kill this shade, you get your money back.
Okay.
So it is kind of the bonfire patter of get to a bench, rest, save, try to get to the next one. It's got a little bit of that.
And you use money to level up or buy items?
No, so yeah, the money is not, the money's called Geo. It's not just leveling up, or it's not leveling up in this game. It's buying items. Those items can be markers for your map. They can be new charms that you can equip. They can be a lot of different things. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I love this game. I love the art style. Love the music. I love the atmosphere. This is just one of my favorite games of 2017, and it feels very, very, very at home on Switch.
And this is actually the first time it's appearing on consoles on Switch, which is really exciting. It's been out on PC for a little while. It started out as a Kickstarter project, and obviously it's doing very well. Lots of people are really excited about it, and I think if you guys like Metroidvania games, especially ones that are a little bit more difficult, with lots and lots of exploration, I think Tom was also talking about how he kept discovering new areas. Whenever you think you're done, it's something else opens up. Not to mention, the Switch version comes with all 3 DLCs included, which they're all free anyway on PC. So,
but it's nice that the Switch version is launching at parity. A lot of times games don't do that. I feel like the Switch version will be a couple patches back or something like that, and this is just the game as PC players have it right now.
Cool. So this is the very beginning.
This is the very, very beginning of a fresh game. I'm gonna have to get used to it because I'm a little upgraded in my game. So I'm a lot of it is memorizing, how many hits a certain enemy takes. So in my game, that guy takes 1 hit, and this one it takes 2, and that's a big difference in terms of learning how to play.
Right.
Also, I just love you see the grass. There's so much just fun little stuff to cut down. This is the first secret in the game is, oh look, there's another little path here.
Ooh. Some money over there. What did you say it was called?
Geo.
Okay.
Geo. There's so many good voice lines because all the characters are all voiced, but they're all kind of Simlish gibberish speak. But I still know certain lines from certain characters that I
You remembered
love.
the gibberish?
Oh yeah. Every time you talk to the shopkeeper, the map shopkeeper in town, she always goes "Bompanada" in that exact way, and it's just one of those things that has stuck with me forever.
That's hilarious.
And all this stuff I'm knocking out of the way. Oh, well, that mattered, but all the other little stuff doesn't matter. It's just.
So you never get Geo popping out of.
No,
Yeah.
It's just totally cosmetic stuff.
Okay.
And like Metroidvanias, and every Metroidvania, hey, look, here's a jump I can't make.
Oh.
Yeah, and so you have to, even in this very, very beginning tutorial area, you're going to have to come back later, right? There's a lot of that stuff. A lot of this, opening new paths.
Backtracking.
Here's the hole I just fell down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of backtracking, but the world does a good job of changing as you go.
So one thing, because I only just barely scratched the surface with this game. I started playing it over the weekend, and I think I'm about 2 hours in, and I'm still kind of finding myself just stumbling upon things. I don't really know where I'm going. You do get a map, but you can't really tell where you are until you get a charm, right? Yeah, so I haven't found that charm yet. But
yeah, we might go past where you are, actually.
I'm sure we will. We're going to be streaming for 2 hours, I think, right? Yeah, so... Oh, yeah, we will definitely get past it, especially with Tom's expertise here. He's done this a few times.
Yeah, I 100%ed the game when it came out on PC. But the funny thing is, like, even when you 100% it, there's stuff I hadn't seen. Like, there's little side quests that don't actually result in any sort of... They're not any sort of, like, item gains. It's just, like, cute little things.
Okay.
And I missed a couple of those.
Nice.
So this is the main town. It's called Dirtmouth. Talking to the Elder Bug, who I love very dearly.
And that was a bench there that you just saved on.
Yeah, that's a save point and a checkpoint. He says the other residents have all disappeared. They headed down into the caverns. Below is this kingdom called Hallow Nest. That was like this once great kingdom that has basically died. And all that happens now is people go down there, and it died a long time ago.
Okay.
And people go down to essentially grave rob. Like, they just go down to, like, get wealth and riches and all that sort of thing. But Elderbug says basically not many people come back, and the city is dying. And you can sit here and you can talk to him for a while, right? But we're gonna keep moving now. Oh, I'm just gonna keep talking to him. But like the game gives you a lot of opportunities. It's not gonna like saddle you with dialogue a lot, right? Like you can kind of engage with the story as much or as little as you want. See, so Zelda and Cornifer.
Oh, nice.
They're the map folk.
So you can skip through all of this if you really want to, right? And still finish the game. Okay.
Yeah. You don't really have to talk to many people. But man, what's here is so great. There's even there's tons of little details like this sign. Like if you break this, occasionally you'll come back and there'll be a guy called the sign maker repairing it. And as soon as he sees you, he runs away.
That's so cool. Oh yeah, I remember you were telling me about him, and then you can catch him, you said?
You can kill him, and then the sign won't get repaired anymore forever for the rest of the game.
So there's a ton, like you said, of details just sprinkled all over this game.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And there's a lot of lore too that might not necessarily be spoken in dialogue, or it might not be there in text, but it's there visually, and it connects with a lot of the stuff that's just all across the game, which is really cool. If you guys are just now joining the stream, we're playing Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch. This game just came out the day it was announced, over the weekend during E3, I believe, right?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I think, literally during Nintendo's conference.
Right. So it's available now on Nintendo Switch. It's $15 on the eShop, which is quite a bargain, if you ask me, especially for a game like this.
Every penny. I think there's the expectation with games like this, especially indie Metroidvania platformers, which there are a lot of nowadays. That you'll play this game in 8 hours and be done.
Right.
It takes this game 8 hours to clear its throat. Right.
Oh, wow.
It took me 30 hours to beat it the first time.
So if you are just starting out in the game, don't get discouraged if you're confused at first, if you don't know really what's going on. It does kind of open up, and you'll begin to understand it pretty quickly, I think.
It's a harsh game to start, but it is very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys have any questions in the chat, let us know. We're streaming on IGN YouTube, NBC's YouTube, IGN Twitch, and Mixer, of course. So drop your questions below, and we'll try and get to them as quickly as we can. Is there a date for the new DLC? Todoroki Shoto asks.
No, I believe it has a name. I'm pretty sure it's called Gods and Glory.
Okay.
And I don't think they have a date for it yet, but it's gonna be free as well. So whenever it does happen, it's just gonna be an update and you'll have it.
Okay.
So this is is kind of the first. I think we were talking about this guy.
Yeah,
before.
this guy. I want to see you take him down because he killed me 7 times yesterday. Could not take him down.
He's the first kind of big mid boss. This guy becomes a normal enemy later in the game, and he's the first real challenge.
Okay.
And the cool thing is if you want, you can just walk away from him, right? You don't need to do this. All this is a little extra. Oh. It's all just loops, right? It's all just jumping in circles.
So you can see the combat it's simple, but there's some strategy there. You're obviously dodging his attacks. You're trying to counter him when you can.
And it gets more complex. That's one of the collectibles in the game is a little grub worm.
Oh, cool.
There's dozens and dozens of those grubs hidden around. And if you do collect, like as you collect them, you get more kind of rewards for that. Actually, I'll go show the grub right now.
Okay.
Someone is asking about menu or HUD. There is this menu, and this expands. You get like a map, and you get other things later. But in terms of HUD, you basically only have what's at the top left of the screen right now.
Can you show the map real quick too?
I don't have the map.
Oh, okay. You didn't talk to the cartographer. There's a cartographer. You have to find him.
Yeah,
He
I'll
gives
go
you the
actually do
map,
that
yeah.
right now.
Okay.
That's one of the things about this game is like it starts a little restrictive, but the map really opens up, and you can kind of just wander in any direction and find something to do.
Nice.
And you can go through this game very different paths than other people do too. Like,
so I might go one way, and
Yeah.
you might do a totally other thing.
I'm going a completely different route. Look, now the sign's all covered in tape.
Oh. You're like, take that. Fix it again, man.
Yeah, I'm going, my second playthrough, I'm going a completely different route than I did the first time. I have not even gone into an area of this game that I accidentally fell into the first time I played it and could not get out of for 3 hours. Like, I was exploring it for 3 hours, just like flabbergasted at the amount of content there was within it. And it was because I fell down a hole, right? Like, and I didn't have the double jump to get out. Like, that was the reason I was stuck in that area.
Oh, man.
So this is this guy. Oh, I saved one already, but usually if you come here, he's just crying.
Oh, that's where they show up. Okay.
He's just weeping because all his children are gone.
Yeah, I came to this room earlier, and all of those little, like, egg things were empty.
Yeah.
So the more of those other collectible guys that you collect, they'll show up in there, right?
Every one of these black circles is representative of a grub you find.
Okay.
Like, you can find all of them on the map. And every time you find one, they get all excited and they give you rewards.
So this is one of those things that's not really, like, told to you anywhere that they're
No.
going to show up there, but you'll see the more you collect them. Somebody had a pretty good question. Sudarshan asks, is there a performance difference between the PS4 and Switch versions? What resolution does it run on? I don't believe it's on PS4 just yet.
Yeah, I think it's only PC and Switch.
Exactly, yeah. So
Also, though, I guess we didn't really explain this. The big head at the top left is, which actually our camera is blocking. Let me just do that.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
The big head at the top left is your soul. You collect that by hitting people. And then you can hold A to channel, and that'll heal you. So as I get hit like that, I can channel soul, and I can just heal back up, and then I can kill these weaker guys to get my soul back up, and then keep healing. So
Nice.
it's a little more forgiving than other games like this, because you can, if you're stuck out in the map and you're really low on health, you can kind of just find some weaker guys to kill, farm your soul back up, heal back up, and then you're more safe.
I really like that mechanic because it seems to, like, encourage you to go back out and, engage in combat rather than, scurry away and look for health somewhere or something like that.
Yeah.
So who's this guy?
This is Cornifer. He's the map maker. You can always find him in every area of the game has its own map that you have to buy from him. They're relatively cheap, but you have to buy the map. And then once you get the map, you can view it anywhere, but you still don't show up on it. And you don't even draw your own rooms. Like, you eventually it'll fill in the rooms that you, like, have visited. But that doesn't even happen until you buy an item. Like, there's so much at the beginning of this game where it's like, it really wants you to emphasize that you're discovering this world.
Okay.
And he's saying that Izelda, his wife, will sell you more stuff up at the top. And you can always tell where he is because these little pieces of paper lead you to him, and he's always singing.
So he's not just there; he's in other locations.
Yeah,
as well.
he's in other locations. So if you hear Cornifer singing, then that means that he's nearby to sell you a map.
The first time I heard him singing, before I ever knew he even existed, it scared the crap out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, like, oh my god, what is this? It's horrible.
Yeah.
The Mikey Sensei has a good question. About when does the fast travel come into play?
So we'll probably... Oh, I can't reach that yet. We'll probably reach one part of the... Oh, I can reach that. Wait, I'm going to try to do something fancy.
Ooh. Nice. Little pro tip there for you guys.
The fast travel comes into play pretty quick. There are things called stag stations that you can find, which will... Oh, ow. Went too early. It lets you travel between other stag stations.
Okay.
And then there's other forms of fast travel in that, like, certain paths that were once blocked might just unlock.
Okay.
What is this? I think these spawns.
Yeah, when I started my playthrough, I think I unlocked fast travel within the first like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But obviously, like if you're that early in, there's not going to be very many places to fast travel to and from. You'll have to unlock more as you go, but that option's available pretty much right off the bat.
Yeah.
So.
There is a lot of backtracking. Like, get ready for that. But the world does a good job of kind of changing itself and also changing how you navigate it, because you get different movement abilities as you go. So like this, I would have to wait for this guy, but once I get like a dash ability, I can just skip by him.
Randall asks about how far are you into the game? Did I miss much? No, you didn't miss very much at all. We're
very
about
beginning.
Yeah, we're in the very beginning. Only about 16, 17 minutes in so far, so don't worry. This is all new. Let's see. Is it always this color palette, or does the game ever switch it up? Pardon the pun.
No, it does change a lot. Every area of the game has its own kind of color. I love this. This is such a good teaching moment, right? There's geo up here that you can hit, and then you go to here to hit this geo, and as you hit it, you are forced to break the wall behind it.
Nice.
And suddenly it's teaching you, like, hey, if you look around and you try looking for these cracks in walls, you will find secrets. It's just a very, very good game design moment where it teaches you without basically teaching you anything.
Yeah.
Or without telling you anything. And no, so I was saying, this is an area called the Forgotten Crossroads. Here's this map that we brought from Cornifer. It's all just hand-drawn right now. Once we get an item, we can fill that in ourselves. And the Forgotten Crossroads is this very gray cave. But the next area is called Green Path, and it's very colorful, and it's very foresty and lush, and it's completely different. All the areas of this game feel very, very unique. And this is like an arena area we're in. We're locked into this. You hear the music got a little more intense until we kill all the enemies. Oh, go back up.
Oh, Luis wants to know, now that E3 is over, do you guys have time to rest, or is it straight back to work? That's a great question. We did have a little bit of rest over the weekend. At least some of us did.
A nice break.
Yeah, a nice little long weekend. But we are officially back to work and going full force. So it's kind of a never-ending grind, but that's okay, because that's what we do here. We like it.
This is a nice little hot spring. I love little moments like this. This game isn't afraid to just have like take a breath moments, because it's such a stressful game that it gives you those.
Yeah, I really like the backdrops in this game too. Like they're some of them are very subtle, and you kind of have to like look at them because you're so focused on your character. But if you do look back there, it brings out a lot of depth to this game, and I like what this game does with that.
Yeah. No. It's got a lot of like nice like parallax, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or like if you enter like. It has a lot of logic to it, where if you enter a huge open area, the background isn't going to be super secluded, right? Mm-hmm. Or if you're in an area that has a big body of water in it, the background might include waterfalls, right? It does a lot of really nice things like that, where it's not just a cave.
Night Surgeon 23 asks, how does it compare to Axiom Verge? Is it as obtuse? I got stuck in that game after the second boss and don't know how to unlock new areas. Did you play Axiom Verge, Tom?
I've played it a bit. I haven't beaten Axiom Verge. Yeah. I think it is less obtuse than Axiom Verge.
I agree.
Axiom Verge, and I think that game is great, right? Like, I'm not trying to hate on Axiom Verge at all. I think it paved the way for a lot of games like this. I don't know if we would have Hollow Knight in the form we do without Axiom Verge. You can see also it's teasing a little collectible in there. But Axiom Verge, in a big way, kind of tried to be classic Metroid, right? It tried to give you that experience to a certain degree, whereas this feels more modern. It feels like it's learned some of the lessons. I'm not saying Axiom Verge hasn't, just it feels like it's kind of taken a lot more into consideration in terms of what's happened with Metroidvanias in the past decade or so.
Exactly. I definitely agree. I think that this it brings on a little bit more of a modern take than Axiom Verge does, like you said, Tom. And it also just it's not as like diverse with weapons, so you get used to like using the same sort of weapon set, right?
Yeah.
And combat abilities. But the areas themselves, I feel like there's a lot more exploration in this game than Axiom Verge had. So
yes, that's the other thing, is that classic Metroidvanias kind of want you to go down a couple, like there's a critical path. I feel like there's one path for you to go down, and then you can explore away from that and need to retread that and that sort of thing. This has a lot of different ways you can handle things. You can unlock powers in different ways. You can go to different areas in different ways. Yeah, it's more freeing with that.
Pizzledat in the Twitch chat has a good question. He's asking, how long do the berries, I think he means Geo, stay on the floor before they disappear? Do they disappear?
They don't disappear until you leave the screen.
Okay, so just make sure you don't leave without collecting all your Geo.
Yeah. And there's a charm you can get really early in the game from the store that lets you it makes Geo collect automatically for you.
Oh, good. That would be helpful.
Yeah.
How many gems can you equip at once?
How many charms?
Charms, excuse me.
It's limited by... Oh, I don't have any charms yet. I think I'm about to change that, though. It's limited by charm slots. I think you have 3 to start. And then every charm has... They're called notches. And then every charm has a certain amount of notches it takes up. So... You could have 1 if you only have 3 and it takes 3, or you could have 3 if they all take 1.
Okay.
And then you get more notches, so you can end up having like half a dozen, but it never goes crazy. This is the next like sort of mid-boss.
Ooh, okay.
This guy killed me so bad the first time I played this game.
What is it supposed to be? Like a flying
Gruz mother
worm bug?
I think it's like a mother bug of the thing that
Oh, okay. Yeah.
attacked us before. I can't, like the little guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let this guy jump around because I don't want to just kill him so quick. Oh, go up.
I like how the music changes up too.
Yeah. The boss music in this game is great. There's a couple bosses that have their own music too. Oh god.
K Navia asks, will this be coming to PS4? I'm not sure if they announced any other consoles yet. Have they?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
they might want to, but I don't think there's any official info.
Yeah.
So the first time I fought this guy and died, I got to killed him, had 1 health, and then this happened.
Oh no.
And I immediately died.
Oh no.
Because I was like jumping on his corpse all happy and proud.
That's such a smart way to like bring in a little twist at the end of the fight.
Yeah.
I would assume that this will probably end up on the other consoles eventually.
Probably.
Yeah, it's doing very well supposedly on Switch right now, and it did amazingly well on PC for an indie title.
Yeah,
so.
it sold at least 500,000 copies on PC. I'm not sure more than that. I'm probably more than that because that number is very old. So this is where I think we unlock the Shopkeeper. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we are officially way further than I got.
I know where to go. That's a big part of this, is when you know where to go. No, it's not all black and white. I'm going to try to get to the second area of the game because it is significantly prettier than this one. And it's got better music, I think, and all that sort of stuff.
Eric has a good one, too. He's asking, I know I'm crazy, but I do not like Metroid, lol. Is there something about this game that could change my mind?
That's a good question.
It is.
The world, I think.
Okay.
One of the biggest parts about this game to me is the atmosphere and like the vibe it puts off and how it presents itself and how it tells its story. I think if you don't like this type of game, you might just not like this game. Like that's fine. Not every game needs to be for everybody. But I think that the way this game Hollow Knight has storytelling and environmental storytelling and atmosphere, oh dang it, is really, really impressive. And I think that it is something that other Metroidvanias don't do necessarily, or don't do as well. So I think that could be part of it, but again, if you're a huge fan of Dark Souls lore and that whole kind of vibe, the way Dark Souls presents itself, then you probably will like this.
Right.
But if you're just not a big fan of the game, it is a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
So this is another type of, not quick travel thing, but this is like this tram system that eventually later in the game will make getting between areas that sometimes take a long time, take shorter.
And it costs Geo to activate?
I think so. You need to find like a bunch of stuff to get it running again. It's like a whole side quest, basically. And it's something you could completely ignore if you just want to run around, but it does make life easier. I'm actually going to collect this because, ow, dang it, I forgot about those guys. Oh man, I love this game, dude.
Do you get new abilities like dash, double jump, etc. that open up
Yes.
new areas, or is it just like keys and stuff? Yeah, you get new abilities for sure. You get different charms that you can equip that let you do all sorts of fun, little interesting things. Like Tom was mentioning before, like all the little coins that drop on the ground, those can be collected automatically through gems, or you can get like a double jump ability. You get the ability to see yourself on the map. Are there any fun ones that we haven't talked about yet?
There's a couple weird ones, like there's one that makes you constantly spawn little versions of your head with wings.
Okay.
And so it just constantly converts your soul into little dudes that go and run around and attack for you.
Nice.
This is another really good example of you just need other movement abilities to get up there, unless you have kind of like, unless you are gutsy, right? In which case you can do platforming challenges like that.
See, I didn't even know you could do that in the game.
Yeah.
And that's something you can do right away without unlocking anything,
There's
right?
there's no limit to that. I mean, obviously me dying is a limit to that, but it's just there's a lot of nuance to the movement. Not as much as in a game like Ori and the Blind Forest, right? This game is much more combat focused than Ori is. Ori, I always think these games are really interesting Metroidvania foils for each other because, like, Ori has pretty bad combat, in my opinion, but it has just incredible movement, whereas Hollow Knight has, like, pretty, like, relatively basic movement, but really good combat. So they're two different sides of the same coin.
I still do enjoy the platforming in this, or at least from what I've played.
Yeah, it's good. I don't mean to say it's not. It's
Yeah.
just, I hate those shield guys so much. Because they will always block, and you gotta get them to swing at you. Then also, if you go above them, they still shield above.
Oh, okay.
It's tricky.
Yeah, we gotta be careful with those guys. Do you get the ability to block as well?
No. Kind of. There's a charm that you get
Ooh.
pretty early on. Did you hear that? I just heard. Here, I'll do that again. So if you don't know that that's there, and you're walking around this area, you can hear this kind of a little bit. You can hear the grub crying.
So you know something's there.
Yeah. So you know that somewhere around there's a grub.
Okay.
And then when you get near, he gets all happy, and if you walk away, he gets sad.
This game is pretty adorable. For as dark and you know, I don't know, grimy as it looks, it's very adorable.
It's very weird that it's such a depressing world, and everyone's a cute, adorable bug person.
Soulcaster in the YouTube chat wants to know, does this game have choices? Don't see the harm in watching if it does not.
Oh, like do this or don't do this?
Yeah, does it give you the option to do stuff?
There's a little teeny tiny bit of that towards the end of the game.
Okay.
And I'm not going to give you any spoilers there. But no, for the most part, it is not that kind of game.
Okay. You can, however, choose which direction you want to go and like what you want to do first.
There's a lot of choice in that.
Yeah.
There are multiple endings.
Oh, cool.
And your actions can influence that, but it's not like a good and evil sort of thing. Like, it's not like BioShock Little Sisters, right? Where it's like, do you farm all the Little Sisters or not? That'll depend on your ending. It's not that at all.
Did you play Cave Story at all, Tom?
Yes.
So Feel Good 99 wants to know if there's any part that's as difficult as Cave Story's true end stage.
Oh, I don't think I've done that.
Okay,
So I don't
alright.
think I can speak to that.
Yeah, I don't know if we can comment on that right now, but we can comment on the difficulty of this game, which it is very difficult.
What I can say is the final boss of Hollow Knight is the hardest boss I have ever fought in a video game ever.
Oh,
It
wow.
is the hardest boss experience I have ever had. Maybe the only thing to match it is Celeste's Chapter 7 B-side.
Oh, wow.
And that's not a boss, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is one of my favorite characters. She just sings and mines. See?
Bury my mother, pale and slight. Bury my father with his eyes shut tight. Bury my sisters 2x2. And then when you're done, let's bury me too. Wow, that is some dark stuff.
One of her favorites.
Ha, do you know that one? It's one of my favorites. We can sing something else like, you start singing and I'll join in. I bet you have a beautiful singing voice. Ha ha ha.
Like, it's little things like this in the writing that are so great. It's like, she stutters. Like, why does she stutter? This is a tiny little minor character, but they're giving her these little tics, right?
Yeah. Just a little bit of personality in there.
Yeah, and, you know, they just chats with you a little bit. If you Yeah, so she forgets the words to the next song. If you come back to her later, like way later in the game, she'll like remember the words to the song. Oh, here's another actually environment. We're not gonna be able to get into this world because it's like a later, it's like a mid-game level.
Okay.
But this is an area where now you see it's starting to change to purple and
It's getting a little brighter.
yeah. I think we have to. I think this is just a locked door though, or it's is it dead end?
Luis wants to know, is this harder than Cuphead? I think it's totally a different style game.
Yeah.
Cuphead to me it's very difficult. It's one of the hardest games I've ever played, but it's also a very stressful game. It's one of the most stressful games I've ever played. This isn't as stressful. It's got its nice little breaks in between the crazy boss fights and stuff. And you can go ahead.
Cuphead is like go.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
This game, if you get into a boss that you die 7 times on and you just can't beat, you can just walk away from it, and there's probably something else for you to be doing.
So in that way, you could say it's similar to like Dark Souls, where if you get stuck at a part, you can kind of walk away and do something else until you figure it out.
This is my favorite part about the Switch, by the way, is I can just I just play games because I play with 2 Joy-Cons detached.
Yeah.
Or like I'll sit on the couch and I'll just be like lounging on the couch playing Hollow Knight.
That's my favorite way to play too. It's the best. It's very cool.
So you see now I'm just kind of retracing my steps. I think I'm actually going to go back up to the city because I unlocked some stuff. The Shopkeeper.
Chad Middleton wants to know, how many boss battles are in the game?
Dozens.
Dozens of boss battles.
Dozens and dozens. There's also like I don't know if there's like an actual boss rush mode, but like there's certain bosses that you revisit, but even without those, like there's dozens of bosses in this game. It's a big thing. Hollow Knight is not a small game by any means. Let me see. Am I going the right way?
How can you tell?
So I just am really, really familiar with the map.
Okay.
So like,
where are we right now?
So right now we are, I think, you see where that kind of like buggy, I can't point to the screen, so it's hard. You see where that buggy kind of thing is at the top center?
The beetle looking, half of a beetle sticking out at the top?
Yeah, the very top.
Yeah,
not the head at the bottom leftish area, but the beetle at the very top.
Right to the right of the
That's the Temple of the Black Egg, which is one of the first places we went to. I believe we are in a hallway that is invisible directly below that.
Okay.
And that's just because I've walked these halls a lot, right? Like I've spent almost 50 hours in this game. So I'm just very, very familiar with it.
You know it by heart now. If you're just joining the stream, we are playing Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch here. Hollow Knight just released last Tuesday. It was announced during Nintendo's E3 Direct, which is really exciting. And we are having a blast running through it right now. We're still kind of in the beginning, still in the early stages. I think we've only fought one boss so far.
Yeah, and it was like kind of a fakey mid-boss. Like it wasn't like the Curse Mother is like definitely like the very intro
it's like
boss.
A nice little warm-up.
Yeah,
get
it's
ready.
hard.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean to say if you guys get stuck in that boss, it's like the first time I've played this game a lot. Like I've beaten that thing like 5 times. So I don't mean to say it's not a challenging game. It's a very challenging game.
And if you're wondering about price, Hollow Knight is $15 on the Switch eShop right now.
I'm just getting reckless now. So we can go back to the grub and actually get a little more geo because we, I think, saved like 2 more. So there's one. And there's the other one, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So see, he throws out 2 handfuls of money.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, 3. Where was the third guy? Oh, see, he's right there. He's way in the background. You see him?
Yeah. What? Wait. Oh, okay, yeah, I see him, yeah. That's hilarious.
Look how happy they are. They're home. Look at the little arm animations. Oh, I love the animations.
Do they ever explain what that, like, the middle one is? Is he like the mom, or is she the mom, or like the...
He's like a grandpa.
Grandpa?
He's like grandpa grub.
Yeah, it looks like an old man.
Look at him.
Can hang out in that room all day.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
All right. Let's go back up to Dirtmouth, and I can show you some of the shops.
Will the bosses get harder every time? I don't think you repeat any boss battles,
Can't
right?
repeat boss battles. There are a couple bosses that return in one way or another, which I'll say without spoiling.
Mm-hmm.
But and those are harder versions, but you can't just like replay a boss every time. Once you've killed it, you kill it. And in some cases, you kill it and like something like the world changes slightly because of it. So then we can talk to Elderbug, and he's like, "Oh look, the shopkeep came home. This is so great," which is like super cute because he'll also say that about the map person. Or like, did you visit the temple? So we visited the temple of the Black Egg, and now he's gonna like tell us a little bit about it. And we can skip these conversations completely. One of the things I want to buy immediately is this. So if I show you the map, here's Dirtmouth, right? And then that's the Forgotten Crossroads. And this is all just like roughly drawn because all we've done is bought a map from Cornifer. And this is what he mapped. This isn't what we mapped.
Right.
So what we can do is we can talk to his wife, and you'll hear the Bampanada.
Bampanada.
So much. Love it.
That was pretty spot on.
That'll stick with me to the day I die. There's a couple other things, like there's a guy in Sid Meier's Pirates that when the mayor is really happy with your performance, he'll go, "Imbriglicated." And that's like one of those similar things that will stick with me forever. But now we can get the quill. And the quill is really important because now what this does is every time we step into a new room for a map we've bought, when we sit at a bench, it maps that. It like adds it permanently. So if you're watching and want to play this game, buy the quill immediately. I highly recommend it. I also highly recommend buying the Wayward Compass, which is the charm that lets you see where you are on the map.
Nice.
So we can get both of those.
So
eventually you'll get to the point where you don't need the Wayward Compass at all because you just know the map, but it's so useful when you're starting.
So if you guys are planning on buying this game today or at some point, definitely remember this video. It'll go up as a recording on NBC for sure. You can use it as a guide, which would be very helpful. So if you're looking how to at least get the map situated so you know where you're going, definitely do that, because I'm going to do that tonight, actually, when I go home and keep playing this.
So now when we sat on the bench, it said map updated, and now you see it's filled in. Here are all the areas that we've been that are actually, like, it's actually mapping those rooms, and you can see now, like, here, I don't have pins, so I can't point out, but you can see, like, that middle path. We haven't explored that yet.
Right. That's
still Cornifer's hand-drawn. So that's a place we probably want to go next, except there's also, like, some paths to the left. If you see off of that tower, there's like a couple little things. Over here, there's like a drop down, which we couldn't get to. There's a couple other little paths that are just like, we haven't explored yet. So now the job is go out, re-explore all these areas that we haven't. And we can add the Wayward Compass. And now if we look at the map, hey, look, it's our little head.
Oh, that is so helpful.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very, very nice. Let's go talk to Sly, who's the shopkeeper too. And he can sell us some stuff, I think.
Chad Middleton, does this game have different endings? Yes, it definitely does. It has multiple endings.
Got a couple.
Yep.
I won't say any more than that. So now the storekeeper, you see we can buy mask shards, which are like when it's Zelda, right? You get 4 of these and you get an extra health pool. Vessel fragments is you get 3 of them and you get a little extra bit of soul container. Simple key can just open doors around places. Like there are certain doors that'll say like it has a simple lock and you can open it with that.
Not cheap either.
No, definitely not cheap. Gathering Swarm is another charm. This one lets you it just picks up your geo automatically. Stalwart Shell makes it so that when you take damage, you're invincible longer.
Oh, wow.
And then the Luma Fly Lantern is one of those ones that you don't have to buy, but is like you're going to get eventually, where there are places that are pitch black. And that'll glow.
Does it like make you glow? Does it hang on your character and like?
Yeah, it's got a little light on you.
Okay, cool.
The Rancid Egg. I love the description of this. I found this under the counter. Some creature must have laid it here while I was stuck down in the ruins. Suppose you could buy it? I won't miss its sour odor. And that's all it says. It's a Rancid Egg. I'm gonna skip. Actually, let's get one of these. Let's get Gathering Swarm. Just to have another one.
Gabriel Pena wants to know, should I buy this or Celeste next?
Don't make me make that choice, man.
That's
literally, those are basically like 2 of my favorite games of the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like you literally cannot go wrong. There's no way you can go wrong if you buy one of those games, in my opinion.
They're both really, really good.
The question is, do you want a combat game? If you want a game with lots of fighting, get this. If you want a game with lots of platforming, get Celeste. That's the easiest way to decide.
There you go. What are you more in the mood for?
So now you see this? It only has one charm slot, but there's 3 notches, right? And these guys only cost 1 notch. So when I add this, another little spot opens up.
Oh, cool.
And you can just keep equipping until you run out of notches, which is nice.
And you can unlock more notches as you play?
Yeah, you can buy them, and then you can also find them from certain bosses and things like that. They just kind of are around.
Cool.
Let's go over to the right, which is the graveyard. Because Hollow Knight's a very happy game. Lots of bright colors.
Oh, yeah. Super, super happy. Oh, there's one of those keys.
Yep.
Or locks. Yeah.
Stone door with a simple lock. So if we went back and we saved it at 950 Geo and bought that key, we could immediately open that door.
Nice. Let's see. Manster Bear is asking, will we be back on the regular NBC schedule this Friday? Yeah, we should be. We should definitely be back. And I believe Zach Ryan will be joining us again. It's been a while. He's been so busy planning all of our E3 content. So if you're a fan of Zach and his work, definitely look forward to that. He's got a lot of stuff to say since it's been like well over a month since he's been on this show.
He's just going to dump for the last month everything that's happened in Nintendo.
Exactly. And there's a good chance you might see Tom on the show as well if he's got some time. Love to have him. He's always welcome.
Let's go down this way. So also a tip that it took me like I think 20 or 30 hours of game to discover when I first played this. So if you hold L button, the shoulder button, it brings up your map. And look, you bring out a little map and you walk around. It's so cute. But if you hold L, it brings up the map of the area you're in, and you can see your little head walking around. But if you double tap L, it brings up the larger map.
Oh,
so
wow.
you can see everything. And you don't have to press minus and then find it in your inventory and all that jazz.
Now, when you played on PC, did you use like an Xbox controller?
I think I used an Xbox 360 controller.
How does it feel on like a pair of Joy-Con, like playing it in handheld mode or like this?
It feels good.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice port. So here's a. This is the path to Green Path.
It's another one of those mini bosses you could say, or just like a hard enemy.
So this guy's actually a little bit of an obstacle.
Okay.
Every time you get close to him, he shuts down. So there's no way you can get past him unless you have a thing to kill him, basically.
Tom Marcus in the YouTube chat says, so great to see you both together. 2 of my favorite IGN people. Oh, thank you, Tom Marcus.
Ah! Oh, I just fell very far. No! Oh, man. Platforming in this can be unforgiving at times.
Yeah.
You see now, look, I have little Luma Flies who will come and appear and collect my money for me.
Oh, wow.
Even from far away.
I feel like we've gotten really far, but we probably haven't gotten that far.
Dang it!
It's just a really good first run through.
I just know where I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
That's a big part of this, is when you first play this game, you're going to be backtracking a lot. Because, like, I'm not going to lie, the first few hours of this game are a little bit... Oh, come on.
You'll get it.
They're a little bit hostile. Like, they very much throw you in the deep end and say sink or swim.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's off-putting to a lot of people, and I totally get that. I personally love it, and once you do kind of get to a point where it hooks you, you'll be hooked. But it is a lot of figuring out what the game wants from you at first. So this is just like free soul. Ah! I can't get over that yet. So I don't know why I even came down this way. Maybe I can... No, this is crazy. Let's try it.
Cold Arts says, I just bought it on Switch. What's the first thing I should do when I start? Definitely go talk to the cartographer, I would say. Get a map. That's going to help you a lot. And then, I don't know, just, the first thing you should do, I'd say, is follow your instincts. I think that's when this game works the best, is when you're sort of just finding things out for yourself. And that whole sense of exploration and discovery is really exemplified. How did you do that? That was some, like, pro parkour Hollow Knight skills right there.
I didn't actually think I could do that.
Wow.
And now the problem is I know what's that direction, and I literally can't get past the part a little forward, so I'm just going to go back.
We're just going back?
Yeah, because that was just for pride.
You did that on stream.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's a whole optional area, too, I think. I'm not sure, actually, anymore. Like, I don't want to give too much away. Yeah, the jumping, the like sword jumping like that is It's used a couple places in actually needing it, not just like me like tricking around, right?
Yeah.
But, like,
are there ever parts in the game where you like definitely need to use that to get to a certain area that you have to go to? Okay.
I don't know if you have to go there, because a lot of other things, like, there are a lot of paths that like will be blocked by a huge boss, but if you just kind of delay enough, like, you can find a way around, and then you'll come from behind the boss and maybe like don't need to fight it at all. There are moments like that, so I imagine there might be some similar stuff for the sword jumping, because it is hard. Like, it's not a super easy mechanic to master.
Grimlock in the YouTube chat says Tom is senpai. Blank Space says it's just like a Souls game. It's pretty similar. It has some Souls-like or Soulsborne, I would say, mechanics to it, where if you die, you have to go back and pick up your money. In Dark Souls, it's souls, obviously, but here it's money. And money is very valuable. You use it to buy, like you saw, charms, which give you new abilities, unlock new things that you can do, different ways you can interact with the world. And the difficulty-wise, I mean, it's all about combat. So different enemies attack very differently. Some are flying, some are on the ground, as you can see. The bosses especially. So it's all about evading and timing your attacks correctly, similar to a Soulsborne style game. But I'd say it's just as much like a game like, Metroid or Axiom Verge or Castlevania as it is like a Dark Souls style game. So
The thing that I think the reason that a lot of people try to avoid, or at least I try to avoid, the Dark Souls comparison is because it's a really easy comparison to make.
I agree.
You can apply it to a lot of different games, and it just kind of tiring to do so. Ow.
You think we'll ever get to a day in the world where we're just like, we don't mention Souls-like games or Soulsborne games?
No.
It's just, it's like kind of become its own genre, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an area where I can't like do anything in this area because it's super dark, and I have to come back here when I get that Luma Fly Lantern. But that Luma Fly Lantern costs 1,800 geo.
Oh man.
So it's not cheap.
So you could essentially kill a bunch of enemies and farm and work your way up to get that lamp, or you could just hold off and come back to it much later in the game, maybe 20 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is. Oh, so here's the quick travel system. Rick Mayer in the Twitch chat. Don't give spoilers, please, if you can.
Yeah.
It's not heated.
Keep the spoilers on the DL, guys.
So I paid at this little toll booth, and it opened up this thing. And this is a Stagway, and this is one of my favorite animations, hand-drawn animations in any video game ever right now, which is the stag appearing.
It's hand-drawn.
I just love that thing so much.
Nice.
And if you talk to this dude, the last stag. Been an age since I last heard the ringing of a station bell, it echoed down the stagways and called me to you. So he's literally the last stag beetle alive. And their job when Hollow Nest was a bustling place was to, basically, they were the taxis. They would take people down stagways to different places. So now we have the Dirtmouth Stagway. So if we go there, it actually is going to open up the stag station in Dirtmouth.
Nice.
And then we can see. Now we go.
So that's how you fast travel in the game.
That's the main form of fast travel.
Okay.
And you see, this was a building that was closed, and now we can hit the switch inside it, and it opens the door for us. And now this building, if it loads in the center of town, is now a building. Go talk to the other bug. He goes, never thought I'd see it open again. Yeah, there's a lot of little lovely details like that, and I really appreciate that it's not just a fast travel. Like, it's not just like up here at point A from point B, right? Like, it is, it makes sense in the world to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And the last stag actually ends up having this whole quest that you do with them too. So, and when I say quest, I don't mean like traditional like quest log side quest thing. Like, it's just a thing you can do, right? And like, if you do the thing, you get rewarded.
Right.
But it's this long kind of thing with story and rewards and all that jazz. And it feels like a quest, but it's not logged in any way.
Okay. Okay.
So now, let's look at the map. Where have we not gone, Philip? So there's that big ominous thing right in the center. We know that this path to the bottom left is blocked off. We can't make a jump. We know a path to the left is blocked by that angry dude, the roly-poly guy. To the right was the crystal place and then the darkness. And so there's this place right below us. You see there's a little outlet just below us and to the left. So we can go down there and we can see what that is. Because we can hold off on the big bad. So it's this, it's this path.
So in the very middle of the map, where like the sort of Hollow Knight looking head is kind of chilling by itself, is that where the big boss is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's actually the boss's head.
We'll save that for later.
That's the first boss of the game.
Very cool.
Or the first main big boss of the game.
First of dozens.
Yeah. So we came to this. Oh, I forgot about this. It's locked.
Philip Barnhard in the YouTube chat is asking, will you review the game? Yes.
Yes.
Tom is working on his review right now. That should be going up in the next couple days or so keep your eyes out for it on IGN.com.
This was one that IGN, I mean, it was a slow burner of a game when it came out, right?
Yeah.
It didn't really garner looks and support until like about 3 or 4 months after it came out. And so it was not a game IGN reviewed initially, because it was pretty low-key. And I'm very happy that now that it's out on Switch, we're getting a chance to review it. Also, I love little details like this. Do you see the little Luma Fly in the lamp?
Yeah.
When you break it, it flies away.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And that works with, like, if there's a lamp with 3 Luma Flies in it, 3 Luma Flies will fly away. Like, there's a ton of details.
Mr. Ladius wants to know, what is Tom going to score it? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned for the review.
If you can't tell, I like the game.
Yeah, he likes the game, so let's roll with that.
Yeah. But our review, like Philip said, will be coming in the next day or two, I think. So you have to tune in and find out.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be speaking more about it on NVC this week if Tom joins us. So definitely make sure you stay tuned for that as well. It's coming up on Thursday. We're streaming live on IGN.com every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern.
There's also a lot of little like visual language things. Like this symbol looks like the stag, which means that way is to the stag station. And there's the stag station sign. So now you know that if you see one of those signs out in front of a path, it's the stag station. There's also those for benches, for a lot of other things. Like it really plays with that visual language really well without ever really having real language. Like there's no English or anything in this besides like when you're outside of talking to a character directly.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down here and save, and then we can try this fight. What time is it? Okay, 2.
We got about 1 hour left of the stream. If you're just joining us now, we're playing Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch. It's available now on the Nintendo Switch eShop. It's the first time this game has ever shown up on consoles, so it's really exciting. I know a lot of people out there don't have a beefy PC like we have in the office, so it might be a lot of your first exposure to Hollow Knight. Definitely recommend you check it out.
Do you have to enter stag stations to unlock the location? Yeah, you actually have to go to a stag station and pay to unlock it. So here's another one of these dudes.
Another guy.
But the funny thing about this is you can just, if you want, the game lets you just skip it, right? Like, you can just go over it.
Yeah. But if you kill him, he drops a lot of geo, right?
Yeah, you get a lot of money for killing this guy, and he doesn't actually, like, once you learn the pattern of him, not super cool.
So he's got that swing, and he's got
also,
like a back step where he sends waves, like sonic waves at you, I guess.
Yeah, but also if you... Here, I'll show you. If you screw up your jump, he hits you for 2.
Oh, wow.
And then... It's very, very... Now I have to actually concentrate, because I really don't want to die. Unless we want to just show the Souls mechanic, because I'm really close to it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hit me, bro. Hit me!
There it is. So this is what happens when you die. You see your little spirit soul come out.
And then you wake up next to... So actually, we updated the map. But you wake up at whatever bench you last saved at. All your geo is gone, and your soul container, you can see actually in the top left, is broken. Which means you can't hold more than 2 charges.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that will repair once you get your stuff back.
What happens if you don't get your stuff back? Does it ever repair?
No, you need to get the shade, but there are other ways later in the game to, like, circumvent this system.
Okay.
But I'll leave that for you guys to discover.
Okay.
And then once you get back here, here's my shade waiting for me.
And you actually have to like attack it, right?
Yeah, you have to fight him, and then that gives me my money back, and it gives me
You're just gonna spam attack him.
it's quicker than this, which is the right way to do it, but it's not the fun.
So Tom is making this guy look incredibly easy right now.
And you want to fight him?
Don't let that. No, I don't. Don't let that deceive you, because he's very challenging. It is not an easy enemy to take down. But take note of exactly how we're fighting him, so you could do the same as well.
Yeah. And then these little dudes let you recharge on soul if you want, because they're simpler. I also like that this is like 3 different levels, or like 3 different types of guys, or maybe this was 2. And they all just are like slightly different in how they attack. It's like really cute.
Have you guys finished the game on PC already? If so, what's your favorite area of the game without spoiling the new knights?
What's my favorite area of the game? I really like Crystal Peak is an area that I very, very much enjoy.
Everyone Google Crystal Peak Hollow Knight right now. See what it looks like.
That was, we were briefly in it. It's the purpley crystal place.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
Very much enjoy that place.
It looks kind of like a mine, I guess.
Yeah. I also really like, there's a beehive at one point in the game.
Ooh.
The beehive is a completely 100% optional area. And I really enjoyed the beehive. There's a couple other places. We can jump later in the game at some point too if we want and show off the arena. So this is the first main boss of the game.
All right, here we go.
Knight.
False Knight. I'm nervous. I'm sweating right now. I don't know how you feel.
I don't remember how to fight him, so a little nervous.
Okay.
Okay, I'm remembering this. I'm getting it back now.
He seems kind of
Oh, dang.
a little similar in his attacks to the big enemies.
Very intentionally. So this is one of those Mega Man things of like oh god, the enemy in a level right before him is teaching you how to fight this guy, right?
Okay.
Wait for your opportunity, dodge the big swing, and then get in there.
Nice.
And then his helmet opens up. And you hit the guy inside. And that's how you actually deal damage to him. Okay, I'm gonna heal while he's doing this.
Angry boy, huh?
He's not happy. Let's see, okay. When he jumps backwards, that's so scary. Oh. Okay. And now he dropped rocks from the ceiling when he does his big attack. Oh, I got him.
Nice. So I'm guessing it's the classic 3 hits type of thing.
It's similar. Not all the bosses follow that formula.
Okay.
But it's a similar sort of thing.
Okay.
Definitely. Oh, I forgot that he adds that. Oh no, no, no. Oh, I thought I was gonna get nailed there.
Those rocks are falling everywhere. You gotta be careful. Oh, nice.
So this gives me a moment to heal, and then I can start wailing. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, see, so it's not quite 3.
There's more work to be done there.
Oh!
Oh. That's hilarious. Was he farting or
No.
exploding?
Very dying.
Very dying.
And then we got the city crest.
Cool.
Which
The
is,
city
I
crest.
don't know what it does, actually.
That looks important.
And we can bounce on his shell. Just for funsies.
That's cool. Do you get that same sort of feeling of, satisfaction of taking down a really hard boss that you
look.
get in other games?
Do you see the end of his mace?
Oh yeah, it's a bug. Everything is a bug in this game.
I just love the end of the mace just gets up and walks away if you stick around. And there's nothing that this does.
I wonder if it's trying to go somewhere though. Can you follow it?
No, it just leaves.
Get me out of here.
Also, you see this big old shell, and he was this tiny little dude.
Oh, wow. That's
why he was called the False Knight.
Okay.
And I won't go into it, but there's a lot of lore you can learn about this armor.
Oh, really?
Like, there's a whole novel to be written about the characters in this game.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of geo.
Yep.
Very cool. Did you get that charm that it just all flies to you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It looks so buggy. I'm gonna take that as a joke. And now we can open this door.
Looks all buggy. No pun intended.
I think this goes out to where Cornifer was. Yeah. And see, Cornifer's left a little note where he's like, "Sorry, I missed you. If you're feeling lost, why not pop up to the store in Dirtmouth and purchase a map of the area?" It looks buggy is a great joke. I wish that it was buggy just so I could make that joke in a review, but it is not. It actually was really bad when it first came out. It would just randomly hitch. Like, the frame rate was awful on PC.
Wow.
On PC, this is like in February of 2017.
Okay.
And they fixed it like a month later, but it was kind of a bummer. Like, initially the game was like didn't
hard to
run
play.
very well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got turned off by it. I think that's one of the reasons it was like a slow burn.
Oh.
Marco is a great joke. Don't you dare. Don't put yourself down like that. So now we have this little area, and we can talk to this guy. I love this design that they're like all black with this little shell hat is so cute.
Yeah.
And he's got, look, his necklace is made of like your health things.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
What's this creeping out of the darkness? You're looking grim, strange, empty face with a wicked-looking weapon. So basically, he's like, "Oh, you probably need my help. I'll give you a gift," and it's a spell.
Our first spell.
Mm-hmm.
The sound design in this game is really good, too.
The sound, the music, the everything. Like, it's an auditory feast. Like, when you're walking around different environments, you get these different footstep sounds, and it's just, it's so good.
Yeah, you should play, if you're playing in handheld mode, play with headphones, definitely.
Yeah. So, that thing knocked us out from taking it, and he's like, "Oh, thanks. Now that you're awake, can you help me?" And he's locked us in here until we go through, which is basically his backyard, and kill a giant monster that has been acting up. So we got to do that.
So that spell that we just learned, is it like a ranged attack?
Yeah, so you tap A. I'll show you in here.
Oh.
And it uses what would be a healing charge, right? It uses a 30-year soul thing to just knock people away. And it does a ton of damage, at least starting out in the early areas. And you can later upgrade it and change it and do all sorts of things like that. But it starts out very, very strong. But you're using healing.
Right.
By using that, I didn't just get the soul from that guy and heal. So it's like, it's a trade-off. But, you know, so I can just charge up soul and now I'm back to full. So it's worth using.
It doesn't take too long to charge soul either. It's like, what,
No.
like a couple hits per enemy? You get a heal?
Oh, that happened a lot. And there's also there's a charm that lets you gather more soul from enemies. So...
Cold Arts wants to know, how do you learn about the lore? Is it in the game? Yes, it's all in the game. Some stuff isn't really told to you. You just kind of stumble upon it, whether it's through like a visual background or something in the background that you see, or if it's like a house or an NPC. So, yeah, there's a ton of lore in this game, as Tom was sort of alluding to before. They could write a whole book on just the characters.
I pretty much could. Like, it's really, really deep. It's the same thing with, like, Dark Souls. Like, you could go through, and I know that comparison, but, like, if you go through Dark Souls and don't pay attention to any of the lore, like, you could come out of that game, like, not having any idea what's going on. And it's the same thing with this, where if you don't pay attention, it's going to feel like you just have no idea what's going on. But if you do pay attention, there's a lot there to reward you.
Sudarshan wants to know, does your character change appearance later in the game, like different sword or outfits?
Not really, no.
So you use the same weapon set pretty much throughout the entire game, but you can get sort of upgrades through different charms that you equip, and then obviously, like you just saw, different spells that change up the combat a little bit, add a little bit more of a dynamic flavor to it, lets you play the way you want.
So you see I got those blue hearts?
Yeah.
So now that I have temporary health. And I can hit this guy, because this is the same guy, right?
Right. Okay.
But now I'm out of soul, so I gotta back off.
How do we get back up?
You don't. So now I gotta fight this guy. Eventually he does that.
And that's how you build up your
And
soul.
I can get my soul.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, and a thing. Soul Catcher. Oh, that's the charm I was telling you about. Here. You've slain the beast. And so he's talking about how, like, all these things used to be docile, but something's happening where things are getting mad. And things are going crazy. And now he's letting me out after he kidnapped me. And now that we're at a bench, we can actually go in here, and I'm going to take off Gathering Swarm and put on Soul Catcher. And Soul Catcher takes 2 notch slots, and we only have 3, so I had to take this one off.
Oh, wow.
But it increases the amount of soul you get. So now instead of taking, you're right, I think it was 3 hits to get a new heal.
Now it's like 2?
Now it's 2.
Okay.
I think that's how it works. And now we can go to that place that, now we go, okay, where do we go now, right? Because the game doesn't tell you where to go next. But now we can think and we go, okay, wait, there was that guy that we couldn't kill.
Right.
And now we have an ability to kill him. So we can go back there. And I believe he was up here.
Through that little tricky jump door.
No, that was the other one.
Oh, okay.
That was just another path that I'm not going to go around with yet.
Okay.
There it is. Green path. So you just look for the telltale flowers. And I love this too oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. As we walk to the left, the color will change. I think maybe we gotta kill this guy first. Oh, I got hit.
We made it.
So once we walk to the left here,
Gets more green.
yeah, the world starts shifting, and see, now we're in like a green area.
I like how it's not such a dramatic change. Like, it still all makes sense within the world. You know, you still feel like you're in the same sort of like world, but just a slightly different area, which is really nice.
Yeah, and this is Green Path. And we're not, like, again, to anybody joining us, we're very, very early on in the game. It takes most people just a few hours to get to Green Path. I obviously knew where it was going and knew what I was doing, so it made me go quicker. Oh, look, little adorable dude.
Sleeping Phoenix wants to know, what's the most useful charm? I'd say Mark of Pride, but that's just me. Comes from a cool boss, too.
Mark of Pride is a very cool charm. It's one of my go-tos. Mark of Pride is a type of charm that extends your attack range.
Okay.
And like he said, it comes from a completely optional boss that is pretty dang hard and pretty dang fun. Yeah, I like Mark of Pride a lot. One of the ones I found myself using, and again, I won't go too deep into this for spoiler warnings or whatever, but I really love this one charm that essentially doubles your health, but prevents you from healing.
Okay.
And so you can't heal at all, but your health is doubled. And so all of your health is those... Ow, why'd I do that? All of your health is those blue skulls that you have. And it's really useful, or I found it really useful in boss fights where you basically, like, it was just going to constantly attack you.
You just don't have time to heal.
You just don't have time to heal. So
Yeah.
instead of healing, you just make yourself have more health.
So you're constantly swapping out charms depending on, like, what kind of boss you're fighting.
Yeah, there was another boss that, like, I basically had to go full in on making, like, my ranged attack stronger and making more soul generation happen and generating soul when I get hit and stuff like that, just so I could go full on magic to attack him. Because it was just too hard. Oh, I almost got...
Emiliano, you can definitely drop your questions right in the chat, and we will try and get to them as quickly as we can, so let us know for sure. Some people are asking where they can ask questions. Just drop your questions in the chat. We can see them. We're streaming live on Twitch, on IGN YouTube, on NBC YouTube, and on Mixer, which is Microsoft's thing. In case you were wondering.
So one of the things here, let's look at the map. Oh, we don't have a map for this area. So if I open up the full map, we're way over here. And we're still looking for Cornifer,
right,
because we don't have a map of Green Path. You can see this is our focus thing, our Vengeful Spirit ability, our little map and quill that lets us map out. City crest, so this is what we got from the False Knight. Stone slab bearing the crest of Hollow Nest Capital City has an insert on the back that would fit into a slot.
Huh.
That's all we know.
Very mysterious.
Indeed. So I was thinking one of the things we could do, too, is run through Green Path a little bit and then maybe jump to the arena. I don't know if people would want to see that. It's a spoiler-free endgame zone is kind of how I like to describe it, because it... Oh, there's Hornet. She ran away. So I say spoiler-free because it's literally just a contained fight people sort of thing. And so you're going to see spoilers in terms of, like, just new types of enemies, but it won't give you any story stuff, it won't spoil any boss fights, any of that sort of thing.
So it's kind of like a wave or a horde mode style.
Yeah.
Fight enemy after enemy.
And it's hard.
I'm hoping you get something cool for all that work.
You do. There's a bunch of different difficulty levels of it, too. Somebody was asking how long this game is. It took me 30 hours to fully beat last time.
And but by fully, you mean 100%?
No, 100% took me 36. And that
Okay.
was before they added... That was before they added the DLC content packs for free.
Okay.
So it would probably take you like 40 hours to 100% if you were playing it not like a crazy, super fast, had already beaten it form. The answer is dozens, though. It is dozens and dozens of hours.
So if you buy this game on Switch today or anytime, or if you buy it on PC on Steam, you get all 3 of the DLCs included with your purchase. And there are still more to come as well. They're actually already working on a 4th one that should also have some additional playable characters as well.
I don't know if the new playable character is going to be in the new one. I just know that was a Kickstarter stretch goal. Was making a new character.
Yes.
Look at the water. Like, this game is super hand drawn, but then there's just moments like this where it's like really cool and pretty.
It's beautiful. But yeah, this game did start out on Kickstarter, which is cool because you can see that there are a few games out there that start out on Kickstarter and become really great and exciting things.
Oh, yeah.
And Hollow Knight's just a perfect example of that, especially because their goal was so low. You said it was 50,000 Australian?
I think that's how much they made.
Right,
It was, like, they were just... Let's see if we can do it.
And they've been they've promised free DLC updates to the game, which they've been making good on. As as I just said, they've released 3 of them, and they plan on continuing just free DLC updates. So this game's going to grow.
Yeah.
So it's not really that big of an investment when you think about spending $15 for a game like this.
This is honestly one of the, like, in terms of like return on investment in just time alone, this is one of the most valuable games you can buy, I think. Like, it is really insane how much you get for $15. Oh, we can hear him singing. Oh, spikes. See the little paper trail?
Yeah. There he is, down there.
Yeah, Portaford. So now we can, it's a humid, lively place, and now we can buy his map of Green Path.
I like that the maps are so cheap.
Yeah.
Like the first one was like 30 or something like that,
yeah,
35.
And they very rarely get much more expensive. Like they're not meant to gate you out of it. They're just meant to be like, it's almost more of a thematic thing. Like, Cornifer's got to get paid. So now we have our map. Oh, and so this is another classic Metroidvania thing, right? Is we had to go over this big, like, upper path. Now we just break this, and now we have a shortcut next time.
Oh, okay. Cool.
They do a lot of that stuff. Not making you retread absolutely everything if you don't want to. Come on, get them both. Can I get them both, you think? I'm gonna go for it. Yeah!
Nice.
Oh, you want to meet one of my favorite NPCs in this game?
Yes.
See all the spikes? Okay.
Ooh. That does not look inviting at all. Do you feel the urge inside to stalk, to kill, to understand? Then take it, my journal. I will aid you. At first, the text may seem difficult to discern, but a learned hunter will come to understand its words. Venture the depths of this land and slay its beasts. Prove yourself worthy to bear the mark of the hunter. Okay. Journal.
So now we get the Hunter's Journal.
Nice.
Which is, again, this is very early, like, basic stuff within the game.
So is this like a bestiary, I guess?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you go to the Hunter's Journal, and the cool thing about the Hunter's Journal is it actually does update. So, like, a crawlid, right? Timid scavenger that crawls through the caverns looking for food. Dull and pathetic, hardly worth killing. But the Vengefly, we have to defeat 20 more to get the second part of that text. So, like, the Gruzzers, we need to kill 3 more. The Gruzmother, we need to kill 2 more Gruzmothers before we have, like, a little more info.
And the Gruzmother was that boss.
Yeah, the Gruzmother was the first, like, kind of boss-ish of the game.
Okay.
Where was the... Oh, I used the right stick to go quicker. Tick-Tick uses its small, sharp claws to climb along walls and roofs, and then if you read the thing, spends its time tapping its way through the roads and caverns near the surface of this kingdom. If you're patient, you can wait for it to come to you and pick it off. So, like, it'll give you advice as, like, after you kill more. But then also, like, there's the false knight in here, where it's like a maggot driven mad by a strange force inhabits a stolen armored shell. Weak creatures loves to steal the strength of others. Their lives are brief and fearful, and they yearn to have the power to dominate those who have dominated them. And it gives you this, like, cute little thing, right?
Yeah. And it's cool because it makes sense. It's like a maggot, you know what I mean? Like, it likes to dominate other creatures.
The Fool Eater.
Okay.
Because it'll just eat you if you walk over it and don't pay attention.
The Fool Eater. Perfect name. Michael O'Brien asks, would you prefer to play this handheld or does it deserve a big TV?
The art's nicer on a big TV, obviously, but it... Oh, I almost...
This is one of those games I think you could totally play through the entire thing in handheld mode. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, it's a beautiful game and it would look great on a TV, but I don't think you'd be missing out on anything too big if you just, cuddled up with your Switch and put some headphones on.
Yeah.
It's a nice experience like that, I think, too.
The audio is definitely helpful. Like, I think the audio is useful in both gameplay and also it's just beautiful. But the art is amazing. But yeah, I think you can get away with being handheld as well. Oh, that was so close.
Let's see, we got about 40 minutes left here in the stream. If you guys are just joining us, we're playing Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch. Just released last Tuesday during Nintendo's Direct. So it's been out for about a week today, I'd say. And it's available right now on the Nintendo eShop for $15.
Oh, that thing exploded. Also, there's lots of little things like this hidden. Like, you're not just going to be finding... This guy's going to come and kill me. You're not just going to be finding, like, secret items. Like, this is just, those who stray far from the White King's roads shall face the law of Un. And you don't know what that means, right? Like, that's how this game... That's a big way of how this game tells lore, is just, like, little details like that, talking to people. It all just adds up and builds this tapestry of just a really, really amazing game and a really amazing, like, kingdom and world. Oh, this is one of my favorite enemies in the entire game.
It's like a hairy maggot.
Check it out.
Oh, cool.
He's tiny. So you gotta, like...
He just comes out of the bushes, brings a bunch of leaves with him.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And then look at, like... Oh, look at his animation when he burrows down. The leaves, like, pop up. It's just so cute. This game is so great.
Do you know if all of the animations are hand-drawn, or some of them?
I think most of them are.
Okay.
Not all. Like, obviously that water is not. But I think most of them are. And a thing that this game does that a lot of other hand-drawn games don't is all these particles, these particle effects, like that it's walking up behind me, those are all hand-drawn and then added to a particle effect, right? So it's not just do a particle, like, creator.
Right.
So, like, it's not like they're just using, like, hand-drawn for the big stuff. Like, they're really going in, and then they blend it really well with, like, other lighting methods and that sort of thing.
Very cool.
I'm just gonna leave this guy. Where am I going, Philip? Ah! There's another one.
Are you guys doing some Trials of the Fool? What's Trials of the Fool?
That's the Coliseum.
Okay, yes. We're on our way to the Coliseum.
So we're gonna jump to a later save for that.
Okay, yes, that's right. We started a new game when we started the stream, but Tom is well into his save, where I'm sure he's already unlocked the Coliseum, as well as a bunch of other cool abilities that you guys will get a chance to get a sneak peek at.
Yeah.
So.
And once again, not trying to spoil anything like major, just trying to like show off some of the later game combat in a way that is less spoilery than, just playing the game.
Marco says, so there's no actual story? Is it more like world-building story, or does the storytelling work? There is a big story here.
Yeah, there is very, very much story, and you will learn that story as you go, but kind of how much you get out of that story and how much you understand that story is dependent on how much you give. Like, how much you're willing to look, how much time you spend on the game, how much you want to look, all of those things. Because there's a lot to find.
Yeah, it rewards you with exploration, not only by giving you new items, but also by like a lot of story details and stuff like that. So the more you put in, the more you get out from it. Exactly.
Because you can beat the entire game if you want in like probably 12 to 15 hours, probably more like 15. But you don't really get the good ending, and you don't get like the understanding of what's going on until 30 hours. Like, you really need to spend time, and you have to do some really hard fights. Maybe it'll take you less time than me if you're better at games, but yeah, it's not a short thing, and there's a lot of story to learn, and it's really like a cool story. Where do I go? Oh, I guess I just go up this way. No, that's another. The greater mind once dreamed of leaf and cast these caverns so, in every bush and every vine the mind of Boone reveals itself.
Philium in the YouTube chat says, going to Paris this week, considering picking this up. Would this be a good for a flight and being overseas for something to play? I think this would be an excellent game to play on an airplane, especially for a long flight. If you're flying across the Atlantic, then definitely pick something like this up, if not this, because it's going to last you the entire flight. It'll last you longer than your Switch batteries, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this guy. Oh, so like that guy I could have just walked by. You remember how much I said I love shield dudes?
Yeah. So this guy's obviously taller than the last guy. Probably a little bit more difficult to jump over him.
Yeah, spits.
So what's your strategy here for this guy?
Well, so you can see when you hit his shield, he swings at you, usually. And he does that first swing, and then sometimes he'll, like, lean into another swing. So you gotta watch for that. One of the ways to get him is to just hit the shield and then jump over him while he's swinging and hit him in the head. Oh, except if I keep screwing up. Because you want him to swing, otherwise you can't do damage to him. The other thing you can do is... is get him to swing up. Oh, wow, that was really bad.
Maybe stay back and heal.
Oh,
you made it.
That was close.
Whew.
I was sloppy. I was trying to explain and like show stuff off, and I totally got sloppy.
You made it, though. With one life left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have backed off and healed probably, but definitely was getting risky. Let me try to get my soul back up, and we can keep moving.
Colin Flanagan wants to know, is there a parry mechanic?
No.
No parry mechanic.
There's a thing you can do where if someone with another like type of sword or attack like that like swings at you, if you hit the swing at the same time, you both reflect off of each other, but it doesn't deal damage to either.
Okay.
So no, there's not really a parry like you would think of in other games.
Gaming V, is it an open world 2D game? Yes. This is basically as open world as it gets in the 2D environment. There was a question earlier.
This is one of my favorite characters in the game.
Oh, nice.
We'll meet him in a sec.
There was another question earlier about best indie games on Switch, and next to this one, of course, because this one is definitely up there. It's probably in our top 10, if not our top 5 best indie games on Switch right now. But some people in the chat were saying Celeste is the best indie game, which Tom might agree with you.
Probably.
Yeah, he gave it a 10 out of 10 on IGN.com, which a lot of us definitely agree. I agree as well. But a game that I personally enjoy quite a bit is SteamWorld Dig 2.
It's a great one.
It's another Metroidvania. It's got some really cool digging mechanics. If you play the SteamWorld Dig series, you'll know exactly where you're at with SteamWorld Dig 2. And I think it's best experienced on Switch because it's obviously portable. It's also available on 3DS and 2DS XL as well.
So this is one of my favorite guys in the game. His name is Zote.
He looks like an older, more broken version of Hollow Knight.
Yeah. You dare come between me and my prey. Is it a habit of yours to scurry about, getting in the way of causing bother? Know this, cur, I am Zote the Mighty, a knight of great renown. Cross me again, and you'll find out why they call my weapon Life Ender. He's just like... They call swords nails.
Oh, okay.
He says, lest I draw my nail. Yeah, and he was just in the mouth of that thing, and you just saved his life, and then he, like, gets all mad at you.
So, like, this entire game consists of, like, bugs, essentially. You're basically playing as a bug person, yeah, and you're fighting bug people.
And Zote, real quick, Zote's an example of a character that just, like, we're gonna walk away from him right now, and, like, we'll see him later, but, like, stumbling upon him is, like, up to us.
Oh, he shows up in different areas?
Yeah. Like,
nice.
He'll be at different parts around the game, and if you don't, like, meet him at each spot, then, like, there's a payoff eventually for getting him to a certain spot, right?
Oh,
like,
cool.
if you follow his story. But you, like, gotta put in that time.
Yeah. Does he tell you where he's going, or you have to just find him?
No, you just gotta explore and find him. You find him pretty naturally. The game does a good job of shepherding you along in that way.
Was this a secret you just found?
Yeah, this was another secret that's just more story, right? The green children walked from the dream unto these lands. Here now we shall wait patient for the call to return. And, like, that's just lore. That's just deep, deep lore. I've suffered... Dang. Oh, it's another one of those guys. I'm gonna walk away from him. Oh, it's another one of those guys. Oh, these are just enemies now. Oh, there's a second one. But look at all that Geo.
Oh, man. Those are Geo balls, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Marco in the YouTube chat says Owlboy was good, too. Yeah, Owlboy is another great game.
Was Iconoclast on Switch? That's another good platformer.
I don't think it's on Switch. Yeah, I think it might be coming to Switch, though. Yeah.
Oh, there's a stag station. So look, I was about to go to the left. There's a stag station sign. So now I know there's a stag station back.
Nice. So we're about to unlock a new fast travel area. We can quickly come back.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ori available on Switch, and when are you going to play? Alan Williams wants to know. Ori is available on Switch. And I'm not sure if enough of you guys want us to play it. If you want us to live stream it, we'd be more than happy to do that for sure.
I really like this too with the stag. So it's travel. If you're up there, if you come down here, you can listen to him instead. And he just tells you about the scenery.
Nice. Some more lore.
So I'm actually gonna stick around because now there's another boss fight. Was one of the hardest boss fights for me when I was first starting. Like really, really hard. And I think there's a chance that while I'm streaming, I might die. Because it's not like a simple fight.
Okay. There's lots of stuff going on. That's good because some people in the chat were wondering if we were going to fight another boss soon.
Yeah, let's do it.
Should be coming up to one real soon.
There she is. And there's also like a little weird version of you dead.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You learn a lot about all this stuff as you play the game.
Lots of little subtle details.
Seen you creeping through the undergrowth, stalking me. This old kingdom, a terrible thing awakens. I can smell it in the air. I know what you are. I know what you tried to do. I can't allow it. So this is a super funny point because she knows more about you than you do.
Huh.
You haven't been told what you are or what you're trying to do.
Right.
And you don't know why she can't allow it. Like, this is how this game tells story. And now I have to focus because Hornet's real easy to get messed up real fast on and then not have an opportunity to heal.
So she's a lot quicker than the other bosses.
A lot smaller, too.
A lot smaller, yeah. So she's harder to hit.
Oh, dang it. Like that other boss, dang, I forgot about that one. Get out of the way!
Oh, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Getting some good hits.
Going okay. Okay. So now, see, when you stagger, you have a moment to heal. Because if you just hit her, she wakes up. So in a lot of other games, it's like you stagger them so that you can just like wail on them, and like that's not what this fight is about.
Right.
You stagger them so that you have a moment to not die.
So you have a chance to heal up.
You never tell when she jumps up. It's so hard to tell if she's gonna do that.
Yeah, they do a good job of like sort of being deceptive with what they're gonna do next attack-wise. Someone made a good point in the chat. Oh yeah, Grimlock said, I think the lore is a lot like The Legend of Zelda. I guess in the way that it unravels, where the more you explore, the more you find out, and it's sort of rewarding you that way, which I think kind of does apply here. I feel like The Legend of Zelda almost gives you more information before you start playing.
Definitely. There's a lot more dialogue of like, you are the chosen one.
Right.
You must fight darkness.
Like what the main objective is, right? You know right away at the beginning of Legend of Zelda. Here you just kind of start. So we gotta get.
I'm gonna get hit here.
Yeah.
I knew it.
We gotta let Tom focus here. He's doing real well though. Still got
almost down. Look how long this fight is.
Yeah.
Like,
you hit her so many times. Nice.
and she runs away.
Oh, so she's not dead. She escaped.
And you pick the bones. But now we have, and I'm glad we got to this point, the first movement mechanic of the game, or the first movement ability, which is the Mothwing Cloak, which is a dash.
Oh, that's so cool. What happened?
Would it seek to break the seals? They cannot be undone. They must be undone. Let us sleep, little shadow. Return to your darkness. Allow us our peace. Game gets real weird.
Wow, it does. So many just like mysterious things constantly happening. Just so many more questions than I have answers.
But now we have a dash. And also, like, I love little things like this in this game. We were in this arena, right? And we can't get back, so there's just no way to get back up. So we have to go forward. Now we can get over, like, we wouldn't be able to get over that before, right? Now we can dash over that. Now we can dash up here.
And
where was it?
It's
here. So check it.
Okay.
Real quick. So as we jump up here, and now we have a path around.
Oh, nice. Shortcut. So Soulcaster wants to know, are there more movement upgrades other than the dash?
Lots.
Lots?
And I won't spoil what there are, but there's probably like 4 or 5.
Nice.
There's a bunch of different things.
And those just stay on. You don't like unequip them and then equip them, right?
Yeah, that's not a charm.
Okay.
So you can see here in my like inventory, which you like never really use because you're not like collecting things. There's no crafting or anything like that.
Right.
But in your inventory, it has the Mothwing Cloak is just a new ability you have.
Gaming V wants to know, how do you save the game? There's like little benches all around the world. You kind of have to find them. They're in safe spots. You sit down and save. Go ahead.
But also, and this is a key thing I didn't realize, when you go quit to menu, it says your progress will be saved.
Oh.
So it's not gonna be like this is less of an issue on Switch because you just hit power button, but like it's not gonna be like you have to get to a save point to save what you've done. That'll just reset you to the last bench you saved at. But everything you have done will be saved.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy.
I love this dude just looking over the lake. This is the Lake of Un. You remember how we kept hearing about Un?
Yeah.
This is his lake.
Oh, so he's Un?
No.
Oh, okay.
But so if we go to the map, see, Lake of Un.
Okay.
And then this is the guy that we met at the Black Temple. His name's Portal. Seems we're both treading far from the path. And he's like sharpening his nail, and he's just chilling. And this is such a sweet character. He's just so nice and like weird and just like hanging out.
What's his purpose? He just kind of feeds you a little bit of lore?
Yeah, he just talks with you, and he'll come into play later.
Okay.
Like, he does other stuff.
Nice.
Did you see the creatures? I think they just flew by. So this guy is, like, really funny to me. This is one of these amazing things about this game. Yeah, those things in the background.
Yeah.
This is an enemy. This is a guy I just fought, right?
Uh-huh.
And we're both just, like, chilling, looking out at the lake.
Can you hit him? Oh,
and now he'll fight me.
You surprised him.
But, like, there was no music playing, right? There was no threat from him. Man, I killed that guy way quicker than the last one.
That was real quick.
We could try some of the Trials of Fools. I don't know how long that will take.
Well, we got about 20 minutes left of the stream. You think it'll take 20 minutes to get through it, or quicker?
I think it'll go quicker.
Quicker?
But,
right. Maybe let's wait till the last 10 minutes then, just in case?
Yeah, let's do some of that later, because I don't want to, like, show too much.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite areas in the game, Green Path, just because I love the music, and I love the art, and, the fact that it's so humid and, warm, and it's just such a nice area.
It's very mystical. So the majority of the game takes place essentially underground, right?
Oh, yeah.
All of these different
Hallowness.
areas. Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing that wrong. There. So this is Dirtmouth, right? That's the surface, is Dirtmouth. And then everything below that point is underground.
Okay.
And there's some logic to it. Like, the deeper you get... Oh, wait. We have to do that.
Oh, yeah. We keep getting Windows Update notifications.
Windows really wants to turn off our streaming computer right now.
We noticed you're streaming. Would you guys like to update Windows in the middle of it?
So, yeah, and as, the deeper you get, the more, dark and, quiet it gets, the colder a little bit it gets. There's little things like that where it, all makes sense. Yeah, I really like that detail.
So are there any areas where when you're starting, like a new game, that are just obviously way too difficult for you to get through?
Look at Zoe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the game is nice enough that you kind of get upgrades as you unlock hard areas, but there are definitely areas, there's one part in this game where you can do what I did, which is just fall down a pit, and you're, in an area that's way too hard for you. And if you die, you just die. And if you don't, then you can fight your way out the other side. And as you can see from me playing right now, this combat, you get stronger and you get literal tangible benefits that make you better at it, like more attack damage and stuff, and different charms.
Bapanada.
But you also get, you just get better at the game, right? That's just another part of it. Is
right.
You just are if you're good at this game, you probably don't need any upgrades. You can just blast through, but it's really, really hard.
I bet you there's so many people, or at least a few people online that have done that.
Yeah, there's an Iron Man mode in it too.
Oh, yeah?
Which is if you die once, you die.
Is that in the Switch version?
I think so. Yeah, we can check when I go back out. But
cool.
You might need to beat the game to unlock it.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there is that mode. So you can see all these other little pins that I unlocked. Here, I'll buy some of these just to show off, because this account doesn't matter. So we bought some of these pins that mark stagways and stuff, and then we also bought some markers. And so when we go back out to... And these are good to buy. I just didn't buy them because I don't need them right now. If you look at your map, now you see the shops are marked, the benches are marked, the stag stations are marked, and I can actually hit A and go in and be all right, where have I not explored? This path was blocked. This path I need to explore. This path was blocked. I want to go and explore this area, which I haven't done yet. That was locked. And you can start to give yourself a visual representation of what you still need to do,
right.
Which is really, really nice, because this map marker system was not in the original game, and it was one of my biggest complaints about when I first played it, was that there was so much to do. Look at all the little odds and ends. There's an open end, there's an open end, there's an open end, there's an open end, there's an open end.
It's almost
there's
overwhelming.
4 in this room.
Right.
Yeah, it can get overwhelming. And just being able to go, okay, I know I've been there, I don't need to look there. I know I've been here, I don't need to look there. I do need to go here. And being able to just, mark all that is it's night and day in terms of navigating the map.
Right.
Grimlock said Steel Soul mode. Yeah, that's the Iron Man mode.
Oh, okay.
I just added a bunch of random markers. Whatever.
What's up, Blade Blur? Blade Blur in the NVC chat. It was good running into you at E3 as well. And yes, we are very excited for Mario Tennis Aces coming out this Friday as well. We'll be talking about that on NVC this week on Thursday.
Also, this is just something really fast. this shop, you see how much detail is in the background of all this?
Yeah.
Like, as you learn more about these characters, like some of those things will start making more sense to you.
There's like a giant, what do they call them? Nails?
Nail, yeah. There's a nail there. There's like some masks. Like all those things start like telling a story about this character, and you can walk to the other side of him, and instead of shopping, you just chat with him.
Nice.
So you can open the mapping shop across the way. I suppose a little competition is healthy. Like he's just like cute and silly, and like you can do that with I think her name was Zelda, right?
Yeah, Zelda.
Where was she? Zote the Mighty. Zote the Mighty will leave eventually.
Mobadis.
All the places to end up, we picked this dreary town. So she's like mad at her husband, who said cartography was like the way to go, and like she's annoyed and bored. And there's this guy. Oh, so this will be a nice thing actually. This will be a good transition. We can go over to the other mode.
Okay.
Tiso. You wear that nail with ease. If you're in search for combat, you'll find no greater warriors in this decaying burrow. I've heard an arena exists somewhere below, one built for our like. Meet me there and we'll test what skills you possess.
So did this come with one of the DLCs that came to the game later? Or was this included with the full version when it launched?
I think it was a stretch goal for their Kickstarter that they just included in the main game. So now if I go away... and come back up, he should be gone. Yeah, so he's gone. And now you can find him, like you run into him a couple times.
Okay.
Let's see if we can't get the sign maker. Only do this a couple more times, because it's like a very low percentage. No? Okay. This will be the last one, and then we'll go over to the other game.
So we're checking, if you're new to the stream right now, you can break signs in this game, and apparently there's a sign maker that shows up who fixes the signs.
He's really hard to find, though.
Yeah, sometimes he shows up.
He is a deep, deep, deep secret.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things you should go try to farm for. Here, okay, so let's go over to the other save file. This save file is farther in. Like I said, we just played the first few hours of the game. Like, I probably blew through what'll take like someone who hasn't played the game before, like 3 or 4 hours, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little more. Maybe even more, like 4 or 5, depending on the person. 3 to 5, I think, is a safe range, though. We're going to go to this other mode, or this other save file that I have that's a little farther along, just so we can show you one specific part of the game that is a total optional side shoot area that I think you will enjoy seeing. So now we're in the Coliseum of Fools.
Nice.
And this is in this very, very kind of later game area. And there's Tiso, who, because we saw him at multiple parts throughout the map and got to talk to him, he's made it here, right? And what we can do is we can look at... Here's a bunch of charms I have. I won't go through all of these because I don't want to spoil too much. Right now I have Mark of Pride, which is the one we talked about, increasing range. I have Steady Body, which is also an early one you can get, which is where when you hit someone, you don't bounce backwards.
Nice.
And then I've got Quick Focus, which lets me heal soul quicker.
Cool.
But I could also equip things like when I take damage, they take damage. And there's other things like Dash Master lets you dash more often. And you see, instead of having 3 notch slots, right now I have 7.
Oh, wow. But a lot of those pins that you're wearing like take up 3 slots or 2 slots. And
yeah,
stuff
they're
like that.
very expensive, so I only have 3 on me.
Okay.
Oh, I remember that. So this is the Coliseum of Souls. This is like a cage match arena that has 3 different levels of difficulty. So this is the Trial of the Warrior. It's the basic one. Trial of the Fool, I believe that someone called out, is actually the hardest one.
Oh, yeah?
We're not going to do that.
Okay.
Fight for Geo and a Charm Notch. So if you win this is one of the ways that you can unlock new notches for your charms. You can get more stuff.
Nice. And can you go back and keep doing it over and over again for stuff?
No.
Okay.
I think you can do it over and over again for Geo, but like every one of these only gives you like a special thing as well, that you can't just keep getting. You can't just get infinite charm notches. Like there's a limited number in the world.
Right, that makes sense. Otherwise you'd be able to wear all of them.
All right.
Super Hollow Knight.
I have been fighting very easy enemies with a very weak character. I'm I'm like legit nervous that I'm gonna screw this up. So I'm gonna probably have to focus a little bit.
It's all
Because
good.
this is where I am at in the game, and this is the Coliseum of Souls.
This looks intense.
Wait, listen, are they all whispering? I thought they whispered. Look at the bugs in the background freaking out. They're ready for death. I'm gonna put my headphones on. I'm getting try hard mode here.
All right, Tom's gonna get into his danger zone right now and get ready for the big trial. Doing good so far.
I forgot about these guys. I haven't fought these guys in the game at all.
Those shield guys seem like they're so frustrating. It's like you gotta find that right pocket right after they swing, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess if you can sneak behind them and get in a couple hits. Okay, we haven't seen that yet.
These are like stronger versions of those rollers, right?
Okay.
Do you remember those guys?
Yeah.
My nail is also double upgraded. Ugh.
Whew.
Oh my god.
So you did upgrade your weapon. You can upgrade your weapon. Okay.
And you see I have a little more health. I've got 2 little soul containers off to the left that I can save extra soul spots for. So now this is a part of this strategy too, is I'm going to heal now so that I can regather soul from killing these guys.
Oh, okay.
Because if I just killed them and healed after, like, I wouldn't have full soul. And I still don't.
And what's nice too is there's no time limit, so you can kind of take your time with it.
Yeah. Come on. The Trial of the Fool is like an insane one.
Oh man, I don't even want to think about it.
Oh, I hate these guys. I forgot about them. Dang it.
So they have projectiles like ninja star things. Gary W says, I love the environment. I've played at least 65 hours on Steam and haven't finished the main story. I would definitely get this on Switch.
Dang it, these guys are so annoying when they're doubled. Ugh. So now, see, again, I'm just trying to make sure I... Oh, man, that was a snipe.
Long distance.
These are one of my least favorite enemies in the entire game. Because they shoot these 3-prong things.
Are they like...
It's just so hard. Like, it's hard to get close to them to attack without them shooting you in the face.
Yeah. It spreads out really wide.
Oh, now the floor is spikes.
Ooh, okay. The floor is officially spikes, people. We cannot touch the floor. Oh.
That was a wall jump.
Yeah.
So that's an ability you get later. You also get a double jump.
Nice.
So now floor is changing.
Ugh. 2 of them. All right, this is not fair anymore. Oh man, it's hard because it goes up like that. He can shoot it directly up when you're jumping on him.
Yeah, you can't just rely on that.
Nice. Doing good so far, Tom.
I'm hanging in there.
You got full health, full souls. Everything's good.
Okay.
Ernesto in the chat says, greetings from Costa Rica, guys. When is the next NBC show? The next NBC show is happening on Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on IGN.com. We're going to be going back to the live format because we're all done with the E3 stuff. So all of our gear is back in the office. I'm really excited about that. I love doing the show live. And then, of course, YouTube version goes up on Fridays, so nothing will change there.
Now we're getting to the point where they're starting to add guys as you...
Just as you fight them?
Yeah.
So whether or not you kill the last wave or not, they're just going to keep coming?
Yeah.
All right, so I guess there is sort of like a unseen time
And now we're
limit.
on this tiny thing.
Yeah.
But luckily it's just these weak guys right now.
The baby flies.
Oh, that's one of the guys we fought. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
That's the guy from Zote.
Okay.
But now we're stronger. Actually, we're just going to shoot him.
Fighting him on the smallest platform ever. Not much room to move.
Oh, dang it. He's really hitting me. These are not... Like, this is the type of thing where I'm like, those are hits I shouldn't be taking.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I should never get hit by that attack if I'm playing my best.
Yeah.
Got him.
Nice. Was that it?
I don't know. No.
There's more.
Still going. And And I think now they're gonna start adding guys even quicker. Yep. And now they're gonna start mixing the enemies, so it's like a shield guy and a. Oh, dang it. I need to kill this guy as quick as I can. Come on, man. Come down here and fight me. Fight me like a man. Okay, got him. Ugh. Don't hit me with a sniper. Okay.
There you go.
So this is one of the things that we were talking about, Mark of Pride. This is one of the things Mark of Pride lets you do, is not wait for those guys to get quite as low.
Man, they keep sending those little purple things.
Yeah. Oh! Let's go!
Oh, man, this game knows how to mess with you.
No jumping.
It's like the worst saw trap ever. Grimlock wants to know, any Daemon X Machina news for this week? No Daemon X Machina news. Nothing big or breaking, but we are working on some write-ups of all the third-party Switch games announced during E3, and Daemon X Machina is on that list. There should be a video coming along with that soon, too, so keep an eye out for that once it goes up on IGN.
Look how long this is, too.
I know. And you're doing a really good job. I don't know why you were so worried.
I'm just... Oh, you remember the things that were the bosses?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ah!
So it's good that this is like end game stuff, because obviously you're just walking into Hollow Knight. You're not gonna know really what's going on at this point.
Ah! Dang it. And you remember what happened?
Yes.
Oh, they didn't spawn a bunch. Okay, that's nice.
Are you getting hurt from the... Oh, okay.
They're all cheering, though.
Yay, throwing money at you. That's cool. That looks like it could be the end.
Yeah, I think that was.
And we're getting a notch, too. Ooh, that was 1,000. That was really good.
1,000 and a charm notch.
Very cool.
All right, let's do one more.
Yes.
Okay, let's go for it.
We got just enough time.
I'm feeling cocky now.
Let's go into the Fool's one.
No, well, you gotta unlock them in order.
I know.
So I can't do that yet.
I wouldn't have wanted to anyway.
But I love that they just shower you in money.
Yeah, it's cool.
And look, all the guys I just fought, like, chilling.
They're passed out.
Now I have a charm notch, though. I'm gonna keep steady body, but there's probably one other I can... What one other one do I want? Is a good question. Grub Song's not bad. Spore Shroom could be good. Let's do Torrents of Agony, because that's also an early game one. So I don't want to spoil too much. Torrents of Agony is that every time I take damage, it like does everything around me.
Dave Hollum is asking, just joined the stream, so sorry if someone already asked. How's the difficulty? It's pretty difficult.
It's a challenging game.
Yeah, very challenging.
I've played a lot of it, which is why it looks like I'm not having much trouble.
Yeah, Tom makes it look easy. If I was playing, it would be a totally different story. No, definitely not. No, that is not a request.
Trial of the Conqueror.
Ooh.
Fight. So this says fight for Geo and rare metal.
Rare metal? What do you do with rare metal?
It's just an item that you can use within the game. I'm not going to try to spoil too much.
Okay.
But it has uses that are... It's a good thing.
You definitely want it.
Yeah, and it's not like crafting material. Don't think like that at all. It is... There's a limited amount of that stuff in the world. So this is one of the only ways, if you want what it offers, to get. All right. You hear they're all whispering?
Yeah.
And then as soon as you walk in, they shut up.
Yeah, that's cool. And then they cheer. It's the details like that that are so cool.
Also, like, look, they're... Oh, God, I forgot about these guys.
This is the Coliseum of Fools. Is this the thing?
This is not the trial.
Oh, the Trial of Fools. I see.
These guys are pretty easy. There's just so much help. Look at their king, too. The Coliseum king is, like, dead.
Yeah. Is he dead? Is that what it was? I thought he was just tired.
Shell.
Oh, my
He's
goodness.
dead.
That's funny.
And they're still just fighting on without him.
The party never stops.
Now they see, like, now they're mixing this stuff, so it's just like, ugh.
Ooh, Max iGeek in the YouTube chat says, I got to meet Tom at E3. Super cool bloke. Even if we were both tired, lol. That's cool.
Yeah, sorry if I was tired when I met you.
We were all very tired. Running off of like 3 hours sleep a night, if that.
And so, like, these guys, they see they're, like, upgraded versions of, like, enemies in, like, the early game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever see these guys outside of the actual, like, the arena. Now it's do this fight again, but the floor is spikes. Oh, dang it.
Man. Does it reset itself when you do that, or is it just...
No, it's just you take a damage.
Okay.
All right. And then those go away. Like, look at this. I have one platform to fight this guy.
Oh, man.
Got him.
Man, those beginning stages enemies seem like nothing compared to these guys.
Yeah.
This is so much more intense.
Oh, man. No, the drippy guys. Oh, I hate the drippy guys.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta heal up real quick because I need to keep gathering soul. These guys take a lot of hits. They don't come after you specifically, but they take a lot of hits, and they're very hard to predict, like, where they're gonna bounce next.
You want to try and attack them from the top, I guess, since they're tripping down.
Yeah, exactly.
Little fiery poops.
And they also explode when they die.
Ugh. So you can take damage from that too?
Yeah, but also that can kill other enemies.
Oh, okay.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, jeez. I wasn't sure where the platform was. Ah, so small.
Oh!
Oh, that was bad.
Is that just a... Oh, yeah.
Those
okay.
explode,
Torpedo bats.
and they do 2 damage. Ah! Not cool game. Okay, so now look, I'm running out of soul. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still full health. Oh, those guys take so many hits!
There we go.
Stop spawning them! Oh my god!
You gotta heal up when you can.
Oh, I tried to dodge under that guy. Okay. I'm good. Oh, dang, I just channeled soul when I didn't need to, and it lets you do that, which is so mean. Oh, big guy. Oh, big guy. Oh, I hate these things. Oh, I hate these things so much. That, if they do that and others... Oh, I remember this. I was wondering if this was going to be part of this.
Oh, wow. Can you wall jump up there?
You can. Okay, my above strategy did not work.
You're getting stomped on pretty hard. Okay, there we go.
Let me heal.
Nice.
Oh, okay, so this is not the part I was thinking of. There's one section,
Oh. Really?
Ah!
Oh, no. It's a trap.
They all laugh, do you hear that?
Yeah.
They're all laughing. God, this game is so good.
Oh, man.
I need to get out of here. Okay. So there's one section, I think it must be in the final one, where the walls close in like they just did on the sides, and then the floor turns to spikes, and you just only fight flying enemies, and you have literally no opportunity to heal during the entire section.
So that's when the gem with the extra life would come into play, I guess.
I mean, that's part of it, but like you don't want to use the no healing in this section because healing is so important in the Coliseum.
True, yes. You can't switch in the middle of battles, though? Like, could you pause right now and switch?
You can only change charms at benches.
Okay. Keeps it a little bit more fair.
Okay, come on. Oh, this is it!
Oh.
I literally don't know if I'm gonna be able to win this. It's one of the hardest, like, screens in this entire mode.
So basically just stay against the wall and don't die.
You just have to stay jumping.
Oh, thank God. That was so close.
Because now I can't... Okay, I made it through. Okay, so that's not the part I was thinking of. Ah!
Okay.
There's another one of those, I think, in the final one that is, like... It's all guys that, like, explode and shoot at you while you're doing that.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, this mode is brutal, dude. Like...
It just looks like there's so much happening. Oh, it's okay. We're still good. We're still going. We're going a little bit over stream time, but that's okay. We
My
want
bad.
to try and get... No, it's fine.
Oh, man, I'm getting low on health.
This is totally worth it. We're close. I have a feeling we've got to be at least over the hill here. At least more than halfway through.
I hope so. Oh, what are these
those?
things?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
They
apparently...
shoot diagonal twice.
They don't have faces. They just have 4 holes in their heads. And it looks like fire comes out of it.
They just added 2 more. Ugh.
John Burt asks, how do you turn off slow mode? I think he's making a joke. A funny joke there.
Ah, spikes! Why did the spikes show up? Oh, God. Thankfully, these guys don't target you, which means you have moments to heal.
Yeah, like they're not really following you.
But they're so much harder to fight when you're not, like, directly below them.
Yeah. I guess you could jump on them from top, yeah.
But it's, like, it's tricky when there are other ones, too. Like, because directly above or below is the best way to go, but since there's spikes... Oh,
Henrique says, I just got my butt kicked in the Trial of the Fool and came to watch an NBC Streams event off. Lol.
my bad. Yeah, the Trial of the Fool is, like, orders of magnitude harder than this.
So would you say this is the hardest thing you've done in Hollow Knight?
No, the final boss is.
The final boss? Okay.
The, like, actual final boss of the game is just pure torture. It's insane.
All right.
What are these?
This is pretty cool. Tom has been playing this game for a while now. I feel like he knows a lot, but for him to be surprised when he sees a new enemy is very exciting.
I mean, a lot of these enemies only show up in the arena, and I,
Yeah.
like, haven't done the arena in a long time. And they are not dying, and they are not predictable. Oh my god, he's freaking out. Please heal me. Please don't just snipe me out of nowhere.
Ooh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
that one came close.
Just rapid fire from every possible angle.
He got mad that I killed his brother, I think. Oh, that was close. I'm getting a phone call, and that is distracting. It's probably a junk call.
Oh,
Probably my alma mater asking me for money, 'cause that's usually what it is.
More 15 is asking, when did he get the Mantis Claw? I can't seem to find that part in the live stream. We actually changed over to a new save that has a much more, it's much more further into the game, so that might be the gap that you're seeing here. Did we just finish it? Yes! Dude, Tom, that was crazy. That was intense.
I would do the last one, but we're out of time, unfortunately.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, we can't do it, but there you go.
2,000.
There's a great little taste of Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us for this stream. It was an absolute pleasure having you guys here, and thank you, Tom, for showing me the greatness of Hollow Knight.
Dude, this game is great.
Yeah.
Seriously, I can't speak highly enough about Hollow Knight. It's just so good.
Yeah, if you enjoy Metroidvania style games with a little bit of Soulsborne, like, you know, soul collecting and upgrades, lots of exploration, definitely check out Hollow Knight. It's out now on PC and Nintendo Switch. only on Nintendo Switch for now. That's where the console exclusive is. So pick it up. It's $15 on the Switch eShop, and it comes highly recommended from pretty much everyone here at IGN.
Yeah, there are a couple people. So the only thing is, there are a couple people who've played it who, totally to their credit, like, it's a hard game to get into at the start sometimes.
Right.
You need to spend the time, spend a few hours to really figure out what it wants from you, and once you do that, I think you'll get hooked. I bounced off of it my first time I played it, and then I fell in love once it hooked me. So, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again for tuning in. You can catch us again this Thursday live on IGN.com when we stream NVC, which we do every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you don't get a chance to watch us live, you can always watch us on YouTube as well at youtube.com/Nintendo Voice Chat. So thank you all, and have a great day. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.
Goodbye.